Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. A special welcome to those of you watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app from the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the words Spot Media. O'Brien's International Car Sales and Rental has brokered a deal with the government for the delivery of the 66 vehicles which are on the wharf for the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The company is in the process of clearing the vehicles. This was disclosed by the attorney representing O'Brien's, Abe Dabdoob. Mr. Dabdoob told TVJ News that he brokered a deal last week with the ministry to clear the vehicles. They are to be handed over next week. Mr. Dabdoob further disclosed that his client has paid the general consumption tax and the special consumption tax, which was another contentious issue. The vehicles were the subject of controversy after it was revealed recently in Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee that the car company had asked for a waiver on the duties before telling the government that the vehicles would cost more than originally agreed. O'Brien's International is now awaiting the green light from the Ministry of National Security on whether it should go ahead and import the other 104 pickups now in Dubai. Members of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, were present at the Manchester Rifle and Pistol Club, MRPC, recently to observe activities as the club held its final competition for the year. The visit by the FLA follows concerns by the MRPC about new directives and policies regarding the sale and management of ammunition at shooting ranges across the island. The FLA representatives did not speak with our news team, but President of the MRPC, Orville Henriquez, said he welcomed their presence.
Well, what has happened is because of what is happening, there's some changes as it relates to policies and ammunition and firearm and so forth. So they are here observing and making sure that all the rules are adhered to, and we welcome them. So far, we are trying to meet, on a common ground where everybody can be satisfied as it relates to, how the industry still survives and how we do the right thing, and how is it that the authority at the end of the day feels comfortable that what we are doing is up to par as it relates to the law and, to keep ammunition and guns out of the hands of criminals.
Some sad news now as former Member of Parliament for St. Catherine West Central, Enid Bennett, is dead. She died yesterday evening. Ms. Bennett, a long-standing member of the Jamaica Labour Party, was a Member of Parliament from 1967 to 1997. She also served as a minister in the administration of Prime Minister Edward Seaga in the 1980s. In her final speech in Parliament just ahead of the 1997 election, which she would not contest, Ms. Bennett, one of the early female MPs in independent Jamaica, encouraged other women to enter the political arena.
Behave in the way that people look on us that we are only seeking power and seeking wealth. Because parliamentarians before us gave marvelous service, yeoman service, and we could say they weren't paid. It was all, just call it an allowance if you want. It was so small, but yet we were respected. Unfortunately, some of us along the way caused people to lose respect for us.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has outlined temporary measures to deal with an admission problem at the Maypen Hospital in Clarendon. Addressing a town hall meeting in Chapelton this week, Dr. Tufton noted that up to 20 patients sometimes have to wait in the Accident and Emergency Department of the hospital before being admitted to on the ward.
Clearing out some areas and expanding the bed count at Maypen, right, Mr. Bennett? He's here, he can expand on that if needed, so that Maypen can respond a little more efficiently to the many persons who are waiting in A&E to be admitted.
He says the $50 million being spent to upgrade the hospital from a Type C to a Type B facility will create a more long-term solution to the problem. Spanish Town Mayor Norman Scott says he's given instructions to a team from the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation to have things in place to prevent persons from breaching the no-smoking policy in the old capital. The move follows a recent incident involving a group of tourists visiting the capital.
The tour guides might not have informed the tourists that this area is a no smoking zone. And as a result of that, we couldn't blame the tourists for what happened. In case we have another impromptu visit, whenever the persons come, the first thing that they are supposed to do before they alight from their transportation is to give them a briefing as to the square. This square is a no smoking square, and we are not going to allow any smoking to take place in the square.
In the meantime, Mayor Scott says the municipal corporation is working with the Tourism Product Development Company, TPDCO, to improve tourist numbers in the old capital. Farmers in St. James are said to be responding positively to the recently launched Tourism Agri-Linkages Exchange, ALEX, initiative. Lana Gay Franklin reports from our Western Bureau in Montego Bay.
The online platform, created to facilitate the purchase and exchange of goods between farmers and buyers within the local hotel industry, rolled out its pilot project on Monday. It's a program the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, parish manager for St. James, Sadie Dixon Bennett, says the farmers are very excited about, and they are now given a better opportunity to market their products directly to the hotels.
Marketing is what drives production. So being at the production end, now we are in the best position now to tell our farmers what is it that they need to produce, what volume they need to produce, what variety they need to produce, and there should now be some consistency in our production, because there will be a readily available marketing outlet for them to send the produce.
Mrs. Bennett explains how the initiative works.
Farmers will be able to get onto the platform by actually posting what they have available on the platform. The marketing end, as in the hotels, the agro-processors, the exporters, whoever the market will be able to see what each particular farmer will have, and they will be able to place their order on the platform, and the farmers will be able to respond to the platform.
Mrs. Bennett says RADA will be engaging farmers through their farmers group meetings, community meetings and workshops in order to better educate them about the initiative. In the meantime, Chairman of RADA, Michael Stern, speaking at the recent launch, said pineapple, tomato, melon, zucchini, squash, cantaloupe and other produce will be uploaded to the platform.
At least 10 to 20 items will start off. And when I say 20 items, it could be 10 vegetables, it could be 3 meat items. And when we select these from the beginning of the chain to the end of the chain, we get everyone on the platform.
Lana Gay Franklin, TVJ News.
With the increased crime rate sweeping the country and St. James high on the list with over 300 murders, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force sought to lighten the mood, spreading Christmas cheer to children of the lottery community in the parish. The children were endowed with gifts from the security force members as they get ready to celebrate the festive season this weekend. Meanwhile, Scotiabank also held a treat in St. James. Children at the Cornwall Regional Hospital were showered with presents and acts of love on Thursday.
Everyone knows that Christmas is a time of giving and sharing, and too often do we forget those that are probably in nursing care, homes, etc. over the holiday period, and we could not make the opportunity pass for us to come out and share with our children that are here.
Being hospitalized during the festive season isn't so pleasant, and so it really lifts the spirit of the children for them to come out and dress up and entertain and bring all these lovely goodies for them. And it's also heartwarming for the staff as well.
In news overseas, FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe faced numerous questions this week about his interactions, conversations, and correspondence with his one-time boss, former FBI Director James Comey, spanning both the FBI's Russia investigation and its probe into Hillary Clinton's private email server. In private testimony before the House Intelligence Committee this week, McCabe told lawyers that Comey informed him of conversations he had with President Donald Trump soon after they happened. More from the CNN.
It's very important because, remember, the core of the obstruction of justice investigation here is whether James Comey was improperly pressured to lay off the Russia investigation, whether he was improperly pressured by the president. Part of that is whether he was asked for loyalty. Of course, it ends with Comey being fired. But the question of whether he was pressed for loyalty is very important. The president very clearly, as we saw in that interview with Janine Pirro, said it never happened. Comey said it happened. Comey said he wrote contemporaneous memos about his recollections of these conversations, and now it appears McCabe is corroborating Comey's versions of those conversations. All of that is powerful evidence that Comey was pressured to stay loyal to the president. It doesn't seal the case, it's not a smoking gun, but it is certainly evidence that tends towards the theory that some kind of obstruction of justice occurred here.
And we go down to sports. The Cavalier youth team, which is set to participate in a tournament in Sweden next summer, has secured practice matches in Norway prior to attending the tournament. Simon Preston has the details.
Cavalier will be the first Jamaican club to participate in this annual football tournament slated from July 15 to 21 of next year in Gothenburg, Sweden. Technical Director of Youth Teams at Cavalier, Paul Maxwell, says the team will have good preparation in Scandinavia prior to the 24-team elite event.
We are also going to be having a camp in Norway, right? Because once we reach, we're going to be there for about a week before, in preparation, before we go down to Sweden. We're going to take the bus down, so we're going to be there for 1 week before. We're going to play at least 2 practice matches.
This tournament, which produced the likes of Swedish international Zlatan Ibrahimovic and former England striker Alan Shearer, is an under-17 tournament where 2 overage players are allowed to play.
So we have, players like Kahim Paris and Jamai Tope. Those are the 2 18-year-old players that are going. After that, we have other players that are basically from the core, from the team that won in Cayman a couple years ago.
Another player who will be off to Europe is 15-year-old Jamaica College midfielder O'Keefe Cunningham.
Well, I'm very excited because I'm traveling to a different continent, that is in Europe, where I will be very, very excited, because it provides an opportunity for me to get to, because there will be scouts there, so I can get a scholarship or anything, so I can further myself in the football industry and can help my family.
The groups for the Swedish tournament are expected to be announced in March. Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Simon Preston.
And that wraps up the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the primetime news package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.